Page 30, the Jugglers. Underneath it has a rondo. Well, that's the form. This is a rondo form. I'll come back to that a little later. Has one flat. We are in the key of F major. Make sure you can do the F major scale at least 2 octaves up and down. By the time you reach this level of music, 2 octaves at least. And while you're there, do the D minor scale. It also has one flat. Wouldn't be hurting you any if you did the arpeggios on these keys also. 2 octaves up and down would be good. Just make sure it's really the trill exercise and the tremolo exercise I'm after. Those are the important part. Don't skip those. 2/4 time, and we got 16 notes all over. Right hand, you're coming in on an upbeat. You're coming in on the and of 2. 2 and. 1 knee and a 2 we and a. 1 knee. You can feel it. I don't like the fingering at all, but you have to decide on the fingering you like, because I want to connect it at first. You got a 3-1, and then cross over. You reach down, cross. I mean, it works, but I do a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3. So I'm just doing a 1, 3, 2, and then a 1. It doesn't matter. You pick a fingering you like. The fingering in the book is fine, and stick with it, whatever fingering you choose. And the 3rd line down, when it's, I like this. Yes, I don't use the same finger on these notes. Like, no, it's 3, 2, 1 on these. You want to stay relaxed. Did you notice at the end of the 2nd line we lost the flat? They gave you natural signs. We changed key signatures. Now we're in the key of C major. They trick you like that. You have to watch them. You can't trust them. The last line on page 30. It's a sequence coming down, and we're going to use the same fingering for each occurrence here. I like that. 3, 2, 1. Page 31, 2nd line. Here. 1. They want 1, 4, 1, 5. I would prefer 2, 4, 1, 5. You don't need thumb on both of those. So it's the line is here. 3, 2, 1. Each one of these is 2, 4. Here. 2, 4 on those, please, on all of them, all across that line. Top of page 32. Now this has an AVA above it, so the notes are written here. You got to be up here. And really, you're kind of in this position. So you're here. In the 2nd line, the AVA goes away. You're down here. Here, 4, 4. Those other fingerings, but that's okay. You use that. Then at the bottom of page 32, it's the coda. It's got in parentheses, coda is the 2nd ending. You're here. I'll come back to these 2 little lines that are there in a minute. If you go up here, you have time. You got plenty of time to come up and 2. It's the same speed here, and then come down here. And those 2 little lines in the fermata mean, well, I'll tell you in a minute what they mean. It's a secret right now. You're not allowed to know. But believe me, you have plenty of time to move your hand around. There's no hurry there. Left hand, well, broken chords. Wrist. Wrist. Okay. Okay, that's nice. 3rd line down, and remember, we're in C major here. Well, this is hard. Well, that's fine, because the right hand has enough to do. And the fingering for that last little bit on page 20, on page 30, I like to use thumb. You can use 2nd finger. I don't care. On page 31, 2nd line, it is use the 4th finger on those. Wrist, wrist, wrist. Yeah. Don't use 5th on those. That's a beginner's fingering, and you're getting above that. So don't be using beginner's fingerings on these. The bottom of page 32, you're here with the F chord. And then this mess here, it is a G flat, an E, a B flat, and a D flat. Because the B flat came back in the signature, it's there. All black keys. You can use thumb there then, because they're all black keys. And then here, 2-1, and in. 3-2-1. Okay. I mean, the left hand finally got to do it too. Isn't that nice? So forth. Third line down. And again, right now I'm connecting everything as best I can. Forth. You can read the notes as well as I can, I'm sure. Page 31 at the end of the second line, as I said, the flat comes back. You're back into F major again. And we can add the articulation. Nice light wrist staccato. This is not staccato. But the left hand is. Accent. Put in the staccatos and stuff. Third line down, you pretty much play this as legato as you can in the right hand. The left hand staccato. And then on page 31, second line, you have accents. Both, just give them a little extra oomph. Separate them slightly. Now, on the bottom of page 32, let's look at this last line a little more closely here. You're here, and you have those two little lines called a caesura, or caesura, however you want to pronounce it. Sometimes it's called railroad tracks. Well, that's okay. And it has a fermata over it. Well, the caesura, or caesura, I'm going to call them railroad tracks. Okay, well, that means a pause. You know, when we say the beat goes on, well, there's exceptions to that, and this is one of them. When you get a railroad tracks like this, everything stops. The beat stops, the sound stops, you stop, everything stops. So it's complete silence for a moment, just a moment. How long? Well, that's a felt thing. It's like a fermata. How long would you hold a fermata? I don't know. You just usually it's just a beat or two. It's not very long. This has a fermata over it. That means you're going to hold it even longer. So you're going to hold it maybe a couple of beats. Just freeze. Don't move. The audience, you're thinking, what? That's not the end, is it? And then you come up here and do this. And then another one. You're freezing. And the audience is waiting. What's going to happen next? They don't know. And then you finish it off. Accent. And you can separate these. Not short staccatos, just separate the notes. And hold that out. And they have a pedal there in the last measure. I disagree with that. That's too much. Even with it being very loud, I would not pedal this. I didn't pedal anywhere else. Why pedal this? And that's a fermata. So then you hold that out a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And that's the idea with the railroad tracks. It's a pause. Here it's a long pause because they put a fermata over each of those. You get the same thing at the end of the second line on page 32. In the second ending, you're here. You're going to fermata, that's fermata over that. And then pause. And then you go on. You also get it at the end of the second line on page 31. Here. Fermata on that. Then a pause. And then you go on. So you're pausing in places, and I don't know exactly what that's going to do to the jugglers, but okay. Dynamic-wise, well, it applies to the melody. You're loud at first. Keep the left hand soft. Accent. That makes them very loud. Keep the left hand soft. Third line down, you start this soft, you go crescendo up to loud for the fourth line. So take it like maybe a measure or two at a time. So start soft in the third line. A little louder, a little louder, louder. There, that's loud. Don't get loud until then. And here, you can separate these if you want to because they're accents. When you have note after note after note that are all accented, one of the ways of bringing out the accent is to separate the notes slightly. See, a piano can't do a true accent. All we can do is play it a little louder. Because a true accent, the louder part is only on the beginning of the note or the attack. And then the rest of the note is supposed to be a regular note. But we can't do that. All we can do is just play it a little louder. But we can still separate them. And that helps to sort of bring out the accent. Now, that's what I'm suggesting. Now, I don't always separate them. You have to take it on a case-by-case basis. Does it sound good? You try it both ways. But in this piece, it sounds good to separate the accented notes. Top page 31, you got the crescendo again, blah, blah, blah. So page 31, for the most part, is going to be loud. You don't have to stay loud throughout. You can get a little louder and softer as you get to know it and you feel it. You know, you get a little louder and softer. Just stay on the loud side. The accented notes are going to be louder than that. On page 32, this is soft, and you're up here because of the AVA above the top staff. The left hand down here needs to be very soft. The accented notes should come up a little bit, and the left hand stays very soft. And the second line, the AVA goes away, and now you're loud in the right. Keep the left hand in the background. The end of the second ending there in the second line, they have the F in parentheses to remind you, by the way, you're loud here. Okay, so you're loud. The left hand's still soft. And then at the end, the very last line, you're here, you're loud. See, that's not staccato there, but it's quick, so it's short. And then very soft. And now you're very loud. I disagree with putting accents on very loud notes on a piano. I mean, that's silly. It's overkill. Forget the accents. Well, you can separate them fine, but otherwise just play it very loud. Whatever. Roadmap wise, well, on page 30, the second line, you have first and second ending. So you're going to repeat. And the note, second time AVA for the right hand, the part of that line, you're up here. And you're loud. And the AVA goes away at the end of the line here. And then you play it all the way through, straight through until page 32. The end of the second line, again, you have first and second endings. And here you're AVA both times for that. And in the second ending, you're here. And you're going to do that. Then at the end of the fourth line, you repeat it, and you're AVA. And you're loud for most of that line, and then you come back down. At the very end, the coda, at the ending, after, or pick up to the third measure. Here. Slowly and forcefully. Well, the forcefully is kind of set in there with a fortissimo, very loud, but slowly. It's solid and not sure what a juggler is doing during that. I'm not sure. As far as speed goes, well, it has to be accurate. So Allegro Moderato is like an Allegretto to me. It's a fun speed. It's between Moderato and Allegro. It's sort of fast. It's on the fast side of Moderato. It's whatever you can play accurately, I guess. It bounces along and it has fun. So have fun, I guess. I don't know.